Hello, good morning. So I thought I was being all very organised this morning, and I got up and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I thought I'll get my videos recorded because I'm doing my first section of this week's floss tube and my Stitcher library, and I thought I was being very organised. And then I've gone and I've uploaded my Stitcher library that I had recorded, and just normally I check them beforehand, and I didn't for whatever. I know what the reason is. The reason is because the children were running around and I got distracted. So normally I check them and I didn't, and I went back and I checked it afterwards, after it's already uploaded, and the audio was just, it was like there was a chunk of audio at the beginning missing and I had just ruined the rest of it. So I don't know what happened with it, but it was like on both my videos, so hopefully this one's going to be okay. Now that all that's out of the way, my name's Samantha, this is Stitcher Library. This is my mini-series where I'm talking about working my way through my Ravelry library, which is currently, it's not looking too healthy. Let's have a look. My current library is, my not made is 1,374 and my made is 134. So that puts my projects for the year, now this is only projects from Ravelry, but that puts me at 35 out of 50, which is 70%. So that means that by the end of the year I have another 15 projects that I have to finish. It's now the 18th of November, so that gives me what, 7 weeks, something like that. It'll be fine. I can absolutely do that. It'll be okay. Probably. We'll see. I can probably do that. That being said, if you watched last week, I had an impromptu appearance from my children and I got them to pick a couple of projects for this week. So they picked a little project each and I've done one of them and I've kind of half done the other one. Firstly, I'm going to show you my Morticia. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I talk about it every week. I'm using Stylecraft Recreate in, I think it's called Deep Rose. It's pink, it has bits in it. This is how much I have done, which is not great. However, I am not a small person, and knitting takes me a long time, apparently, and I think that, so I'm just fixing my needles because my needles are falling out, and I think that knitting is a good incentive for me to actually lose weight next year, because I really like knitted garments, but they take me such a long time because I am quite curvy and they take me a really long time to knit. So I think knitting could be a good incentive for me to lose weight, because the amount of yarn I have to use as well is a lot. So if I lose weight, I will use less yarn. I will obviously save money by using less yarn, but also things will knit up faster, and because I am quite warm, I can't really wear anything that's more than a DK weight. I am aware I'm saying that whilst wearing this big fluffy thing, but once I'm dressed and I'm up and I'm moving about for the day, I get really, really warm, so I can't wear anything that's thicker than a DK weight. Yeah, so that's my goal for next year. I'm going to lose lots of weight next year, I have decided. Not just for the knitting, just for like my general health. So that was a complete tangent. Oh, how would people feel actually about that? When I record my podcast later on, I might, if I remember, I'll talk about it then as well. How would people feel about me having a little bit on the end of my podcasts? Like just my normal podcasts, trying to like help me keep track of losing weight. that something anybody be interested in hearing about? I don't know. It would kind of keep me a bit more accountable, because right now I'm not accountable to anybody apart from myself, because I'm just not. I'm the only one that's like interested in my weight. Right, I'm going to carry on with what I was doing. So the kids had picked 2 projects last week. I have finished one of them. I will show you. This one, the rustic mug rugs. Now, I have opinions on this. You get this as a free pattern, as you can see from this picture. You do get 3 patterns in it. However, you can have a paid version, which is $5, £4.14. Yeah, so you do, technically you get 3 patterns in it, but when you look at them, so this one is a little bit of amigurumi, it's a bear rug, but this one is just basic plaid colour work, and this one is just a basic double crochet square, and they've just trimmed it in fluff and stuck a button on it. I am all for pattern designers charging for the designs, but charging for these 2 is ridiculous. This one's had a bit more work go into it, so yeah, you know, fine, charge for that one. But these 2, no. So if you want to make any of these 2, I suggest just using the free pattern. If you want to get the bear one, then, you know, it's up to you whether you want to pay for that or not. This links through to her website, where it's got a little bit on here. So one of the ones that's got lots of ads on it though, which is a little annoying if you're using it, especially if you're using it on a phone. And then we've got the patterns in here. Now, she has used worsted weight yarn. She's used worsted weight acrylic. Now, I am far from being a yarn snob. I use acrylic all the time. If you watch me, you know I use acrylic all the time. However, you should use the yarn that is suitable for the project. And as much as I love acrylic for a lot of stuff, nice acrylic, obviously, like, acrylic is not what it used to be. It's not like that horrible scratchy stuff anymore. Acrylic is now soft and usable and nice to have. But it's also, it's still just plastic. It doesn't absorb water. And if you're using it for something like a mug rug, whether you're using it for hot, cold, like I drink a lot of ice water, so I have a lot of, like, the condensation will come down the glass. So I like to use a coaster or a mug rug for that. I've got, in the living room on the table, I've got little quilted ones that I've made. But on my desk, I'm kind of short on space because it's a desk. And I decided to make the mug rug because this is the one that I've been using. And I swear it is clean. It is just really, really old. But see how this is made from acrylic, and see how flat it's gone? See how the stitches are all smooshed up together? And it has got discoloured when we put in coffee mugs on it. It's been melted. It's just like flat, and it doesn't absorb anything at all. So I made mine from cotton. I also don't necessarily think you need to make wool. I think cotton's the best thing for it, personally. I mean, you use what you like, but for me, if I want to have something that's absorbent, I want cotton. And I can also just throw this in the wash and it's fine. Wool can be a bit iffy about that. Yeah, I made mine in 4-ply paint box cotton and just some scraps, 2 shades of pink and a dark grey, because of course I made it in pink. Because she's used worsted, she's only done, I think hers is only like, yeah, so if I'd done her stitch count, it would have been that wide, like with like the 3 darker things wide. So I've added quite a few repeats to it because the size difference between 4-ply and worsted is a lot. So yeah, that's it. I've just done that, and then I just kept going on the rows until it was square. I've crocheted over all my ends as I'm going. She's not particularly informative in the pattern, and I did end up having to fiddle around with it a bit. If you want to make one of these, they're quite easy to make, but you have to carry all of your yarns all the way across underneath. You can't see them. Well, I suppose you can kind of see them a little bit, but you can see it more on the camera than you can in real life. But you have to carry all your yarns underneath and crochet over them as you're going, every single row, which isn't really explained very well in the pattern, I don't think. But other than that, it's just a plaid square. You literally, you're using 2 colours a row, and that's it. So yeah, that's another one done. The other pattern that I was using, let's see, the other pattern that the other child had picked was, where did it go? There we go. This one, the Donut Buddy Dog. This is a paid pattern, as you can see, £4. I got this as part of a big bundle a couple of years ago, and I think there's probably a good chance that it happens fairly frequently that she does it on a bundle. But yeah, it's just a cute little dog. As you can see, she also has an Etsy shop, and this is how far I've got. Now, if you look at the size of the hole in mine compared to the size of the hole in this, I'm hoping that when I stuff this, it's going to the hole's going to shrink a little bit, because as it is right now, look, it's massive. I haven't done this yet. The only thing that I would do differently on this pattern is you crochet, if you've ever made a donut, they're all made the same. You crochet the top, you crochet the bottom, and then she has you like sew them together in here, but what I would probably do next time is just start crocheting from there and work my way out. Yeah, it's a donut. I've not made the ears. It's got like a muzzle part that will go in there, and then the ears will come off here. And yeah, I'll get them done later on. I've just not had time this week. We were really busy at weekend, so I didn't have much crafting time at all. But yeah, that pattern's fine, easy to follow. I will show you the finished one for next week. I got the children to pick other projects. I will show you what they have picked. Firstly, Alfie picked this one, Dumpling Kitty. So that should be a nice, quick little pattern. I'll get him to have a look through my scrap bin and get him to pick a couple of colours for that. And Kaelin had picked this because he is obsessed with pugs. But this is just, that's going to be super, super, super quick to make. He's tiny, but he's very obsessed with pugs. So, yeah. Oh, there's a little mini sloth as well. Ooh. This designer has lots of tiny things. Lots and lots of tiny patterns. So if you're into tiny patterns, then have a look at Mohu. There you go. So yeah, that's my Stitcher library. It's not massively interesting for this week. Next week I'm going to try and get a bit more done on Morticia. It's just like I'm knitting it forever and it just doesn't seem to be gaining the length that I need it to. it's annoying because I'm quite tall and I've got quite a long body, like a long torso. So yeah, I'm just going to keep plugging away at it and it'll get done eventually. And I'm going to finish up the donut. I'll get that done today. I can now start using my mug rug. I might even sew this end in. That was just like my starter tail. The rest of them I just crocheted over as I was going. And yeah, I'll get those 2 little bits done that the kids have picked for the week. And then yeah, see what else I can have a look at. Right, I'll be back next week with another Stitcher Library. I'll be back. Did I say as well, it's Monday morning because my videos didn't work. So Monday morning I'll be doing another podcast. Will be later on today after I've had coffee. I'm a bit more awake and look a little bit less like a fell out of skip, possibly. And I'm going to have to re-record my floss tube as well. So that's annoying. But it is what it is. I'll be back next week. Bye.